Hello and welcome back to Rising Angel Reborn. Took me a second to remember what I was playing there. Sorry, you nearly knocked out Natalie and insulted me. But I'll let it slide this one time. Let's just hurry up and eat. You're a gentleman and a scholar. Come, there's plenty to go around. Damn it, I knew that scene was going to end soon. Inside the small room is an ovoid table with a few grey black chairs surrounding it. Actual chairs with the proper covering, mind you, not the ripped fighter ejector seats I had to scrounge up. To the side, I could see the synthesizer for making the usual mush, as well as a few other devices, an oven and the refrigeration machine and some limited space for food preparation. I'm glad someone added those machines, because the Force is so diverse and every species has their own tastes and nutritional requirements that the synthesizer needs to be able to adapt to everyone. Which means it produces some rather bland and unoriginal food, if you can call it that. Still, when I haven't had anything to eat all day, I'll take whatever I can get. Zuri motions to a seat next to her, with a mirthful pat on the back. I take it, eager to discover the inner workings of someone who's seen such a marvellous place. Spaghetti with Alfredo sauce. Were you expecting me to visit? Expecting... I was just hoping your favourite would convince you to stay. Well, it seems at least one thing's going right. Alphonse has a jovial smile on his face, and Kylie seems to be losing the edge she had when Sol showed up. No, I know that Sol's wrong about this. If the rest of the crew is interesting as these people, I think this might be an acceptable post. The standard issue blue plate sits in front of me for nary a second before I pounce. Though there may be no wild creatures that may try to steal it from me anymore, habits don't die easily. Natalie, could I ask you a personal question? Forget it, I'm tired of arguing with all of you. Woohoo, thanks. If she's thanking Sol for finally giving up, or me, I dare not ask. Why did you join the Force? The age-old question for all deep space adventurers. Well, I was hoping for something like if I had a romantic relationship with Sol or something. That one's embarrassing. What did you tell her yours, Zuri? Might make her a little more at ease. Oh, quid pro quo. Quid pro quo. I joined right out of mandatory schooling. When counselling time came to discuss job options, he didn't get a single word out before I told him I wanted to join the Force. And why's that? Because if I don't defend my home, who will? My homeland has given me so much to be thankful for. This is the least I can do to repay them. I had so many offers to join professional racquetball, but I turned them all down. I even had an offer to join Onathon's Olympic track team. I still don't believe that one. I might not look like it, but I'm one of the fastest runners you'll ever see. Good, I always like my security officers to be able to run away really fast. What are those who need my protection? Alphonse could not have been more wrong. Zuri's reason is so honourable and prideful that it makes mine look so... ugly. I joined because I always want to work on fighters. They were so fast and cool when I saw them zipping through the air at Duster Station. Why didn't you try and become a fighter pilot instead? Sol was one. Well, I was better at fixing than I was at flying. What she's saying is that she couldn't see over the dashboard. They don't make seats for my height, so I was rejected. I'm sorry to hear it. I'm not. We'd be flying a garbage scow with nothing but synth food to eat. That's what she wants to hear. That her dreams are less important than your stomach. I didn't mean it that way, Kylie. I know. Still doesn't sound any less offending. And why didn't you tell us why you joined, Sol? Why do you care? Natalie already knows, and we've had this conversation before. I would like to know. You never tell us anything about yourself. Because you don't need to know. I'd like to know more about our executive officer. If you don't tell them, I will. Fine, force my hand. I joined because of a program that allows veterans to get special treatment in trade deals. I plan on becoming a transporter. That was nothing like the romantic story he told me. I don't see one of you being one of those old fat pilots hauling cargo. It's such a funny picture. Well, there you have it, Nat. What's your reason? Time to admit the truth. If I don't, I can't start sowing the seed of distrust in their minds. I was bored. Bored? Oh god, this is so embarrassing, but I was really just bored one day and I said I could go to university and become a chemist, but that's boring. So I decided to sign up on a whim. But you stuck around to be the best and prove your might and strength to the universe. It's not why you do something, but that you did it. Exactly! What you do here and now is what matters, not how you got here. Sol flashes me a small smile. He knows the truth. I came here because my family's incredibly poor. I couldn't afford the university, so I had to find other ways to become the best. There's nothing I hate more than those sad smiles I get when people discover my heritage. They don't know what it's like to fight from the ground up and nothing more than your heart. That's why I must continue to be the best. I'll conquer peace for Katargia, be the hero and prove myself to the universe. I eat my food quickly and ask Sol to take me back to my room. When I get there, I get philosophical. My first day is not the place to let myself become that way. This is your room. If you need anything, you have my frequency. Don't be afraid to call me for anything. Thanks for showing me around, Sol. It's nice having a friend on this ship again. Good night. Good night, Sol. So this is where I'm going to be spending the next few months. I doubt I'll be visiting this room much when there's so much work to be done. It's a tad cramped, but I think I can make a good life here. The crew seems friendly, and I doubt my mission is mundane. And I don't have to worry about waking up to giant rats gnawing on my computers. I glance over at my roommate's bed, but she seems to be fast asleep. The commander said she was Captain Moonfallow. I'll introduce myself to her in the morning. It's hard to maneuver around in the darkness, so I relent on unpacking and head to bed. Tomorrow, I get to start my job as the hero. This is going to be perfect. What's that? Is there another bird stuck in the ventilation again? No. As I look around me, I remember that I've been freed from that hellhole, and someone's banging on my door with a ludicrous amount of force. Doesn't sound like it would be Sol. He said that he was going to meet me here in 20 minutes. He's always punctual, but... Coming! I quickly throw on a fresh uniform and go to open the door. As the door slides open, an angry-looking kitsune, with bright pink hair tied into twin drills, storms in without so much as a greeting. Where's breakfast? What? You heard me, Faye. I'm not Faye. My mistake? You're not my minion. No, I am not. Still, you seem like you could make a decent meal. You're my new minion. This is making less and less sense as the moments tick on. I glance at her shoulder, notice the thin stripe of a lieutenant. Suddenly I'm starting to understand Sol's annoyance. Excuse me, Lieutenant, but I'm hungry. Chop chop! I'm a major. You know your ranks, right? Behind me, I could hear the rustling of sheets and the loud plop of someone falling out of bed. I want to turn and investigate, but the uppity lieutenant is looking me over like merchandise. Not much to look at, but you've got spirit. I think you'll be acceptable in the ranks of my minions. Lieutenant, barging into a superior officer's room. Do you know who I am? No. I'm Kika Star, daughter of the President of Earth, Julian Star, and the hero of Xeon. We're on the Nimros. I know that! And I don't care who your father is. Decorum is critical for all crew members. Then who's going to get me breakfast? I have no idea, but I know who's going to get my breakfast this morning. What? You can't seriously order me to get you your breakfast. I am. Chop, chop. That's an unlawful order. Breakfast or paperwork? Those are your options. On second thoughts, I don't think I want you as a minion. So you choose paperwork. I might have just arrived on the ship, but I'm rested enough to do some writing. Morning, Kika. I brought breakfast. Oh, finally someone reasonable. Thought you said you were going to meet me at the lounge. I kinda slept in again. Captain Moonfellow, I presume. Yeah, huh? Her glassy blue eyes and constant yawning tell the story of a girl who isn't quite all there this morning. It's nice to meet you. I'm Natalie Pusel, your new roommate. Hope I didn't wake you when I moved in. You moved in? Oh, sorry I didn't help. And that's why I had to beat on the doors so hard. She doesn't sleep as much as when she slips into a coma. Yeah. It's good to know I won't disturb you when I sleep, Lieutenant Star, was it? Soon to be Captain. I'm not such a heavy sleeper. This is your one warning. Faye, didn't you make the Danish like I asked? Danish? I thought you wanted toast. Oh, whatever, let me see it. Here you go, Major Pucil, was it? Are you making fun of me? You said breakfast or paperwork. There, all better now. Let's go, Faye. You can make me a Danish. Oh, I made today's breakfast. It's your turn. It's still today. Oh. They go walking off without paying me any attention. See? She's been that way since I was her upperclassman at the academy. The lieutenant got under my skin, but I don't think you should call her a mutt. No, Moonsfellow's the backstabbing mutt. Kika's just a puffed-up house cat. I look at the toast in my hand. No point letting it go to waste. The meeting's in 20 minutes. Are you prepared? It's in 2 hours and 20 minutes. Nope. I double-checked with Ransuna this morning. Are you saying you haven't even read your orders yet? I jam the toast into my mouth and sprint out of the room and down the hall. I can salvage this. Really, I can. 20 minutes later, to the second, I'm standing before the assembled crew with a page of hastily scribbled notes and an anxious-looking soul. Doesn't he know I've got this? There's nothing to be worried about. Everyone is assembled, Major Pucil. You may commence. And time hack at 0800 Fleet Standard Time. Welcome, everyone. I am Major Natalie Pucil. I will be briefing you on the newest mission for the KSS Nimeros. The operation will go by the code name Runaway Book. 3 days ago, an all-points bulletin was issued for a Marcanian Institute research team that failed to report in at their designated times. The team is currently considered missing in action. While this would normally not require a response, the final report for Dr. Nimian Sunflower, the team's xenotechnician, suspected that the recovered artifact may hold some importance to bond transportation. Question. How did an ancient civilization manage to make something that we have to worry about? They're old and ancient. Just because they're old doesn't mean they weren't technologically advanced. Then why aren't they still around? Well, there's a lot of reasons. They could have been wiped out in a war, or some sort of viral plague, or simply moved to other parts of the universe. Precisely. Marakia isn't filling us in on the details of what the expedition was supposed to uncover, so we're going to be doing a lot of legwork. They probably just found some old traffic sign, but Command feels it's important enough to warrant a follow-up. Odds are we'll find them sitting there, dumb and happy, but I'm not taking any risks. Investigation work? This wouldn't be the first time, would it, Faye? Nope. Our ground team at any potential site will consist of Major Pucil, Major Hackett, Captain Moonfellow, Lieutenant Zuri, and Colonel Nelson. What? I must agree with Star. The team lineup will not do. How so? Would it not make more sense to keep the Doctor here? Should I become incapacitated in the field, I will no longer be able to render life-saving aid. For the sake of those who may be injured in the line of our noble duty, I beseech you not to risk such a valuable asset. You just don't want to risk your own neck. I've trained in first aid and I'm a qualified first responder. See, Commander, does our swap not make sense? Lieutenant Starr, your father has given me specific orders to keep you out of harm's way. Unless I can assess that there is no danger, I cannot authorize the swap. But if there isn't an element of danger, what's the point of going on the adventure? Military necessity. But risking a high-ranking officer with valuable training is? Oh, I dare not believe that. Believe it. Everyone sit down. Continue, Pucil. We're going to the last known location, and we'll attempt to trace their location from there. I don't think we're going to face any dangers, but our current knowledge is limited. Wandering into the unknown always brings a certain level of risk. Flight Officer Migi, what's the status of our ship and supplies? Yeah, everything's working with improved levels, except a few minor crew comfort things. So the aft bathroom's not going to be fixed for a while, is what you're saying? Supplies aren't as good. We got shorted on a lot of our order. We've got roughly a solid month's worth of food and fuel. And we will make do with what we have. You will file another report on this to Fleet Command. I'll take care of it. Thanks, Major. I'm not pleased with Command's subpar performances any more than our crew's. I don't have double standards for my subordinates compared with my superiors. Thanks, I think. Crew, prepare for jump. Major Pusil, upload your coordinates to the nav station for Lieutenant Starr. Major Hackett, ready our ship. But if you have a complaint, voice it later. I want the ship ready to jump in 5 minutes and our course in 3. But now, Lieutenant Starr. Fine, come on. The rude lieutenant grabs my arm and violently yanks me to the position on the far left side. Give them to me. The coordinates. So wants it in 3, I have to do it in 2. I click the transfer button and watch the file pop up on the navigator station. In a heartbeat, Kiko's pounced onto the station, fingers flying like hawks as she manipulates the screen. Why do you have to do it in 2? If he said 3, I'm sure he's fine with 3. Because that's the standard. I'm the best of the best. You don't become the hero simply by doing the bare minimum. And because we do, that's why all of my minions are... You're all going to be my minions someday. The best things are typically done with the worst of intentions. Still, my mission is more likely to succeed with someone who has the drive and motivation. Something bugs me about watching a Titan draw so fast. Is the ship navigation virtual intelligence not working? Hard to concentrate when you're blabbing. Just trying to get a better feel for my ship. Oh, whatever, it works just fine. It just suffers the limitations of all VI. They're programmers? Exactly. My methods are faster and would have had better results. There's a paranoid. Wait, you're not flying us into a star, are you? No, but I might be flying us through pirate space. It's not like we're going to stop our shift jump and let them attack us. Trust me, I know what I'm doing. Natalie, over here. Trust is a limited commodity, especially when I feel the best way to describe her is the candle that burns twice as bright burns half as long. Sol is standing by a small chair that looks rather uncomfortable in the back next to Zuri. We're making the jump. May get a little rough, so strap in, keep your emergency pressurization device under the chair turned on. Isn't there anything I can do? Trust me, I'll make this a smooth one. Just sit back and watch. I'm not worried about it. Ship accidents making the jump into subspace nowadays are rare. Well, I'm always a little jumpy when I make the jump. You can't do anything to fix a bad jump sitting back there in the baby seats. Why did she have to vocalize all my fears? All it would take is one little mistake by the hasty lieutenant or slip of Sol's hand, and we could be dead in a millisecond. I love space travel. The science behind getting a ship into the space between space is amazing. That doesn't make it any less dangerous or frightening. Still, I do feel better knowing that I'm not the only one who's a tad skittish about this. Zuri's alright. How do you cope with it? I'm not scared or anything, just curious. Night-night. Huh? Zuri closes her eyes and snuggles into her restraint. Sleep? How the hell can anyone sleep at a time like this? Between the chaos and the noise, there's no chance of sleep. Zuri? Yet there she goes. That's talent. All crew, sound off. Light station ready. Navigation plotted and good to go. Engineering, all green. Non-essential crew are strapped in and secured. The Nimros is prepared for jump at your word, Commander. Engage jump. Roger, engaging jump drive. Under my seat, I can feel the deck shift from a slow, steady vibration into a much louder, more violent rattle. The warp space generator is beginning its charge. The massive power required to tear a rift in normal space is astronomical. If any of the capacitors were suddenly to explode, there wouldn't even be atoms of me left floating around. I close my eyes, wishing I could fall asleep like Zuri. No amount of personal brilliance could help me. The manufacturer skipped on something. Kylie didn't put her best into her checks. The volume finally crescendos as the capacitors are charged to the required values. Next comes the part that scares me the most. Power is transferred to the Bellino crystal to pull the ship into subspace. Bellino serves the focal point. Without it, the energy used to break the holds of the universe would be useless. The material is rare, mined in 3 locations galaxy-wide. Doubt that we have a spare. Stop thinking about everything that could go wrong now. If you explode, you won't even have time to feel it. Shift drive stabilized. My ship, my controls. Your ship, your controls. Advance into the void. Moving forward. It begins. I open my eyes to the bright light of the bridge. I feel groggy and disorientated. Did I manage to fall asleep? The bridge is emptier than when I closed them. I must have blacked out for a little bit. Miracles do happen, I suppose. Good morning. How long was I out? 2 hours. We're still in shift. Ugh. Oh, that first ship nap's always the hardest to recover from. Why don't you take a moment to walk around? Always helps me. Can I? Yep. You only have to be buckled up for entry and exit of subspace. Feels like someone beat me with a rubber mallet. I think I'll need to get better sleep tonight and increase my water intake. I think I'll go talk with some of the crew. That should help clear my head. So, who should I go talk to? Well, Kika's completely insane. Let's talk to Zuri. How many shift jumps have you gone on? A couple of dozen, I think. I used to command a small team of military police before this, so we had more station duty than fleet duty. You were a cop? Well, it's a lot more boring than it sounds. Most of the time we'd just ticket Marines who sped on base, or we'd do drills for events that never happened. If I never have to sit in some hangar checking IDs of pilots again, then my life will be sunny. You did critical work that ensured the safety of mission essential equipment. I know, and I'm proud of never losing a single one. It doesn't make those 12-hour shifts any less boring. I used to practice my fighting style with one of my troopers during our downtime. I'm a little envious. The lieutenant, probably a flight officer at the time, had command of troops and I never did. What did you do before coming to us? I worked at a small listening outpost on the edge of Katojan space. By myself. I was hoping some sort of ship would drift into my space. Did you ever see any rattling ships in your space? The only ship I ever saw was the automated cargo ship that would bring me supplies every other month. Still, you did critical work that ensured the safety of mission essential equipment? I guess we both have exciting careers. But that's the point of this adventure, right? We're finally going to do something more with a more visible impact. Indeed. Zuri looks at me with an eager smile and a fierce look, and I sense determination in the dreamer's soft eyes. Sol, I think you might be underestimating her. Hey, speak your mind. Well, I know I might have almost nearly possibly knocked you out yesterday, but if you're looking for my permission to keep practicing, you're going to have to go to Commander Rosanna instead. Oh, no, it's, I'm sorry. I forgive you. Must be hard to keep busy on this ship. How did you keep yourself entertained at your post? I played computer games. Really? I've tried before, but I couldn't understand it very well. Something about falling candy and you had to move it around? Yeah, candy shop. I played it before. It was fun. It looked really fun. I just couldn't understand it. Perhaps. How about a trade? You teach me your martial arts and I'll teach you candy shop. Ooh! I was worried you were going to ask me to teach you the flute. Wait, that's a much. Nope, too late. I accept your original offer. Could you at least play me a song sometime? Never mind. Training's more than enough. Didn't they call it the lute earlier rather than the flute? Or was I just reading it wrong? Possible typo there. The pain in her eyes whenever she talks about her music. Why? Something to be proud of. I wish I could play such beautiful, alluring music. She's so fortunate. Crew, resume your stations. Prepare for shift. I barely managed to strap myself in before the violent rattling starts up again. Clutching to the straps, white-knuckled, all I could do was pray that we didn't damage some critical piece of equipment during our shift in. If it didn't take a few thousand years to get from one place to another, I would never have it would never take such unreliable transformation. Oh, why couldn't we have developed wormholes instead? Point to point, all done. When I become fleet tactician, I'm going to devote all of my resources to developing that technology. So much safer and quicker than this. It's okay, Nat. Trust the ship. Trust the maintenance. Trust Sol and Alphonse. Okay, maybe life on that mudball had a few perks over being on an adventure. Are you alright? Fine. You don't look... She said she's fine. She's fine. Oh. Nat, you gotta hang tough. Right, I can do this. After a few more seconds of fear-inducing vibrations, the ship returns to the normal conventions of space travel. Not smooth, but not so terrifying that I can't focus on anything else. There. I see the world that will be my first investigation site. The planet is unnamed, just some random alphanumeric designator. Nobody would have cared about it if some research team hadn't decided to go digging around. Captain Moonfellow, environmental report. Can I get up yet? Sorry, I hadn't completed my shift-out checklist. You are now cleared up. Thanks. Let's see. Everything checks out. Hospitable for all crew life, though it might be a little too oxygen-rich for Commander Rosona to breathe comfortably. Slightly smaller than Earth, gravitational pull is within 0.000% of Earth. The supplied coordinates will put us down in a temperate area. Mid-70s Fahrenheit temperature, grasslands, no major life forms of note. I see some smaller ones, similar to small mammals in the local area. Ah, I wanted to bring the heavy weapons today. That's not dangerous. If I have to be afraid of some stray cat, then I have bigger problems in my life. My orders stand. Major Pusil, what are you expecting to find at this site? Truthfully, I have no clue what I'm going to find at the first site. We were always taught that it was the most dangerous part of the investigation. You can only go on what intel told you. I'm going down there with nothing but me and my wits. Everywhere from now on, it's going to have much better intelligence, since I should be able to find some sort of clues here. But for now, this mission is operating in the blind. That is not what I like to hear, Major. Really, Natalie? You don't have any better idea? Oh, come on. Life is boring when you know everything ahead of you. And a lot shorter. What are you all talking about? I'm expecting to find an abandoned camp in the middle of a forest. Then why the whole I have no stinking clue what to find bit? Natalie, you were doing your internal monologue out loud again. Why didn't you stop me? Because it was kind of important information. Great, now I look like a fool again. Need to be more careful about that. Lieutenant Zuri? Yeah, safety, security, and what was the last S word you were always saying? Swords? Why would we ever criticize your practice of swords? I don't know, I really don't pay attention. I mean, yes, Major, safety, security, and swords. Just fall out. Yes, Commander. Zuri, just don't get us killed. How about mauled? No. Ravaged? No. Maimed? Don't encourage her. I know I shouldn't, but I'm trying my best not to lose my cool. My first real grand-side investigation. The butterflies in my stomach won't stop zooming around my gut. 4 people under my command. I have to be on point. I have to be the razor's edge, and they're counting on me. Time to earn those major stripes, Natalie. Well, that to me seems like a reasonable point at which to end this video and say thank you very much for watching, and I'll see you in the next part.